Okay, good morning. This is my little experiment for the week. Basically doing something that is going to be incredibly not algorithmic friendly, but I just want to do this little experiment just to, I don't know, reactivate my YouTube channel since I haven't done anything on here for a while. As I'm sure some of you will see, I think my last videos before this are about 2-3 years ago at this point. So who am I? I am theilagolden. I'm an author. I've just taken a prolonged social media break and have returned with the hopes of getting interested in my books again. I never really had that much success with any form of social media. So I'm just throwing everything at the wall at the moment to see what sticks. So what is this video about? What is my little experiment here? So by the way, if you notice my movements, it's because I'm doing my daily steps. I do my daily steps like pretty much all day. Yes, I know it's not technically walking, but it's still exercise. It's still getting your body moving. So if you see me like just moving around like this, it's literally because I'm stepping. Anyway, back to the point of this. So my plan for the week is for you guys to see how far through a chapter I can get. So I write a little bit every day. Some days I only write for about 10 minutes, and usually those are days before I have work, which is this morning, which is why the lighting in here is not great. If I turn the actual room light on, it's just like a bright light right there. That's because my writing setup is literally the kitchen. So my laptop is on the side. My separate keyboard is here, and I use a separate keyboard with my laptop because certain keys in my laptop no longer work. And it's just cheaper and easier to get a separate keyboard than to buy an entire new laptop. I only tend to buy an entire new laptop when I have dropped it too many times and it stops working on me. True story. It's one of the reasons why I'm grateful that all my work is in OneDrive these days, because it makes it so much easier to recover stuff when I break my laptops. So like I said, the point of the experiment for this week is to see how far through a chapter I get. As I said, some days I'm only going to write a little bit, some days I'm going to write a little bit more. It all depends on whether or not I'm working. Today is one of the days that I'm working, hence the dim light setup. I have done the best that I can. Hopefully tomorrow, which is a day off for me, it will be a little bit brighter, so you'll be able to see me a little bit better. Not that I know why you would want to see me a little bit better. Anyway, let's get into the file. So I know from a little bit of experimenting that I have done that you can't see anything outside of the actual word window itself. And that includes if I highlight things, you can't see the menu that comes up once I've highlighted it. You also can't see if I click on word count and the word count box comes up. I can see it, but you guys can't see it. I also noticed that if I open a separate Word document, which I do for finding information that I need, so my notes are basically my previous stories. I also noticed that you can't see that either. So yeah, literally all you're going to be able to see is what I'm typing as I'm typing it. So I am planning to move the camera box from this sort of into a space so that you can see the stuff down in this corner. I think you can see my mouse moving. So there's stuff down in this corner. So as you can see, currently this document is sitting as a lot of words. My plan is to break it into more than one book. The reason it is currently all sitting as one title is because I didn't want to have to come up with another name, which is a lot of the time is what I refer to as working titles, and then I get so attached to the working titles that it ends up being the final title. The second reason is part one doesn't have what I would refer to as a particularly clean ending at the moment. It's very open-ended, and a lot of that is because I'm not entirely sure where this book is going right now. Like, I kind of know what's going on, I kind of know who the characters are, what their motivations are, but I don't 100% know where the story is going right now. So I started part two to try and figure things out a little bit. So yeah, that's why it's all currently one document at the moment. I've been trying my best not to create super long books because they are not the most marketable. I do have 3 titles out there which are on the longer side. Surprisingly, one of them is my bestseller. Don't know how, other than, people actually enjoy it. But yeah, no, the plan is to break this up. At some point, I just need to figure out what's going on in this story right now in order to do that. So I would describe myself very much as an organic writer. I don't have a fixed plan in mind. I have characters, I have motivation, I have a vague understanding of maybe where the story is heading to, but I never go into a project with a fixed plan. I like being surprised. I like being the person that I'm telling my stories to first. So yeah, so what we're going to be doing today, as I said, it's before work, so I don't have as much time to write as I would normally. Well, I say normally, well, as I would on a day off. So my plan today is to start the chapter. So basically, get words onto the blank page. So a little bit about this story before I start. The protagonist of this story doesn't have a lot to say for himself. So it's being written in first person. And the main character for this part. So the first part, it's his twin brother. For this part, it is this particular character who is very light on his own dialogue. It's an interesting challenge for me because I am a dialogue heavy writer. So not being able to just have your main character say something when you need him to say something can be a little bit challenging. He's not verbal, he's just not as verbal as a lot of the characters that I'm used to dealing with. So as I said, it's a little bit more of a challenge for me to write for him because I'm having to figure out what would be important enough for him to feel he needs to say something versus what does this character need to say. So as I said, challenge of today is to start this chapter. So I've got 3, I'm hoping you can see my mouse moving across my styles. So these are the 3 that I tend to use. So no spacing, that's not actually what it is. I have modified it for my purposes. So that is my indented paragraph. So when I say indented paragraph, I mean the first line is indented and the rest line is normal. This is the straight one, which again I have modified because I don't like how much of a gap it usually gives between lines. So I've reduced that to my preferred gap. And then heading is how I've created this lovely navigation over here. So I always have the navigation bar open because it's the easiest way to go back and search for things in the document. Also helps me keep better track of chapter numbers. So since I started doing it, I no longer end up with like 3 chapter 7s. It's like I was really bad for forgetting what number chapter it was. And so yeah, that's why I have the navigation bar always open, because I said it makes it easy for me to go back and search for stuff that I need if I can't remember a character name or a character description or something like that. And it also helps me keep better track of where I am in the story. Okay, so I'm not going to talk a lot as I'm writing because that would distract the hell out of me. I kind of have an idea in my head how this chapter is starting. So now I'm going to get on with the actual writing itself. You will hear me muttering. You may see me sort of wandering around a little bit. I'm going to try and not do that as much as I would normally. But you may see me sort of wandering around a little bit, and it's because I'm a very kinetic writer. It's one of the benefits for me, like being on my feet and doing my steps whilst I'm doing my writing, is it does actually help my brain work. So yeah, let's do this. so as I said, the point of this morning was just to start the chapter onto the page. So I am actually going to leave it here at this point. Tomorrow, hopefully, I will write a little bit more. As I said, I can't guarantee what length of time any of my recording sessions are going to be, but they're probably going to all be less than 40 minutes because when I was doing my test run, that is kind of when the recording process cut itself out. So the program that I'm using to record all this is called ClipChamp. It is a free one that is on my laptop already. I didn't have to download anything. That's just where it exists. That's just where I found it. My plan is to not edit any of these videos, so this is just going to go up as is, with no editing at the beginning, no editing at the end. So yeah, like I said at the beginning, this is not going to be a particularly algorithm friendly style of video, but it is just a little experiment. So see you tomorrow, I guess.